All right. Yeah. Okay, you guys, I just wanted to raise the vibration in here because I wanted to have a really high vibration in order to get this done tonight, what I want to get done. Okay, because I've got a lot that I want to get done. And it's because we've got a full moon in Cancer coming up on the 15th. The day is 111 is 111 It's a magical day and we are doing magical things today. I don't know what I'm doing, but we are celebrating 111. And I don't want to show my address or anything, but I've been doing manifestation today, and I determined. Oh, I don't know if I want you to know my bank either, but we've been doing manifestation, and in this, I made a check out to myself. I don't know if you can see for $150,000. So I am telling myself on this day of manifestation, and I'm born in January. I was born January 5th. This full moon of manifestation, that I am going to pay myself $150,000. Now, I don't know how soon it'll be, but I put that into the universe and I fully expect it to occur. Okay, so that's where we are. That's the plan. The plan is 150K. Okay, that's what the plan is. I mean, I would like to see that immediately. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, that's the plan. So, I just wanted to say this, and by the way, if I start sweating, I just cooked cheese cauliflower at 400 degrees. And although I have the fan running, I forgot that it's 400 degrees in my little apartment. So if I start sweating, you'll know why, okay? But before I start doing anything, and by the way, you guys, I don't know if you've noticed, I'm doing astrology readings. I have not pulled out any cards or done tarot for about a month. And it's because I'm an astrologer and I felt like I was getting away from being an astrologer and doing more tarot than that. I love tarot, and if you want to pay me to do tarot readings, I'm more than willing to do them. However, I'm an astrologer and I've got so much in my heart and soul that I want to talk about. And I was beginning to lose my passion for what I was doing. So I want to go back to doing what I love. And what I love is astrology. I love talking about it. I just love seeing the synchronicities and how, sometimes I'll say something and it really does work out as I say. I don't claim to be a psychic or anything. I'm not Sloan or anything. I'm me. I am an astrologer and I've been one for 40 years. And I'm not afraid to say that. I was a young little pup when I first started doing astrology, and people started realizing I had some kind of talent at it. And I love it. Okay. And so I'm going to continue doing it. I've lived long enough to see what actually works and what's actually real and what's not. I know. I mean, I've lived on this earth for several decades now. I've seen it. I'm not just making things up. I have seen so many young, or let's just say new age astrologers out there. And sometimes I'm listening and I'm like, oh, you guys obviously didn't listen to like Liz Green or Stephen Forrest. Like you guys are in a whole different stratosphere and talking about things that I think some of you guys get Indian astrology and Western astrology mixed up as well. You got to be really cautious of that because, in Indian astrology, I'm a double Sagittarius, although I'm born January 5th. We all know in Western astrology that is definitely a double Capricorn. I mean, or at least a Capricorn. So it just shows that it is different and you need to be very, very cautious of who you're listening to. You know, if you're into Eastern astrology, then listen to an Eastern astrologer. If you're into Western astrology, then look for a Western astrologer. That's what I do. So let's talk about this moon, this Cancer full moon. This Cancer full moon is what they call a wolf moon, a wolf moon. And it was named a wolf moon for a reason. It's not only the second full moon of the year, but it's, you know, it brings these intense feelings, okay? And it's because it's Cancer, first of all. I mean, if you're going to be dealing with intense feelings, we're most likely going to be talking about like Cancer. Cancer is the most emotional of all of the zodiac. The moon, in fact, in astrology, rules is ruled by Cancer. The moon represents our emotions. Cancer is filled with emotion. And this full wolf moon is going to be happening at 23 degrees and 59 minutes of Cancer. I've been saying 25 degrees because I figure that's a number that everyone can relate to. But it's 23 degrees and 59 minutes, almost 24 degrees. And this time of the wolf moon is a time when we're dealing with our family, our home, nurturing, caring, emotions, our well-being, being cared for, caring for others, giving to others, giving to ourselves. I mean, sometimes we have to mother ourselves. We have to take care of ourselves. We have to nurture ourselves. Sometimes I think we forget that, or some people do anyway. But this is a time of doing that. I think that's vital right now, to nurture yourself and to, if you have people you love, to nurture them. I had mentioned in one of my videos I did a few days ago about the fires in California and how nurturing and caring is going to be vital right now. Like, we have to care for each other. We have to care about what's going on. And the saddest part is there are some people who don't care. They don't care. I had a person comment. I had posted a video. I made a video of this image. It was a video of Sunset Boulevard on fire. The sign, Sunset Boulevard on fire. Now there's images of the Hollywood sign on fire. But that, to me, I mean, because Sunset Boulevard, all the beautiful stores and, you know, just, it's well known and it spans a while, and it's the fact that it was literally in flames. And so I had posted this on TikTok, and someone had came and they said something about laughing, and that they're I guess Muslim, and I guess Muslims laugh at tragedy. I don't have it in me to laugh at tragedy. It's just not in my spirit. So there may be other tragedies. I mean, the moon in Cancer, and no one's really proved that, the high tides and the moon, the full moon actually really does cause it. But time has taught us that the full moon, and especially the Cancer full moon, it tends to bring all kind of crazy things. It's got a bad reputation, that full moon, the Cancer full moon in particular. It's a really bad reputation for all kind of horrendous things. So I want everyone to be really careful. I mean, although they say it doesn't really affect people, it seems to by it happens. Okay, I guess it doesn't affect everyone the same, but it affects enough people in a certain way that we need to be cautious. Now, this wolf moon in particular deals with strength, tenacity, the importance of taking care of your pack, taking care of your family or who you consider family. But it's being strong about, your family. And we may have to defend our home and earth. Don't forget, America is a cancer country. We were born July 4th, 1776, supposedly, right? So we are a cancer nation. And I believe a cancer nation under Uranus, if I'm not mistaken. So we need to be very, very cautious here. The wolf moon also impacts your realm of knowledge and spirituality. It's a very spiritual moon. It's known as being a spiritual moon. It encourages you to let go of past chapters in your life that hinder your growth now. So, think about what you might be holding on to from the past that could hinder your opportunities now and cause you to maybe not embrace fresh opportunities for learning and self-discovery now, because this is that opportunity for learning and self-discovery, now. Okay. So you want to do that. I'm trying to give a good example of that because for me, this is happening in my seventh house, And the seventh house is a house of partnership, a house of relationships. A lot of time, your partner, like your husband, your mate, whoever is there, it shows a lot of times when we're reaching out to others, or others are reaching out to us, or it could show enemies, where enemies are actively doing something. So I'm going to give you a good example, and I'm not going to be very specific, but I'm going to give you some idea. So I've got a situation now where I'm talking to someone who would be very Mars in the seventh house, okay? Very Mars in the seventh house. We've been friends for a little bit anyway. But because this person has expressed a little bit of interest in me, all of these crazy, like, I can only call them enemies, like, have come out pretending to, sending me emails like they're him, or other things. It's just this person's kind of well known. So it's the idea that there's enemies suddenly that are on the horizon. So Mars in the seventh house. I don't usually have enemies, but I don't usually expose that I know people like that. So it's kind of that is happening. There's other things, but I don't want to say it here. Okay, maybe in one of my private videos. But this is a moon that got its nickname because of wolves that were howling in winter. The wolves were howling, okay, in winter. And so the wolf experts say that the pack may be howling during full moons for other reasons, but it's known for the howling. It's the howling. Wow, yeah, right. It's crazy. So what are we supposed to do during or on a wolf moon? Journal, meditate, read, pray, anything that helps you to clear your mind, stay focused, and use this time to self-reflect, to create intentions, to start making plans. When you feel like your energy is picking up, then you can plan out your goals for the year. I've actually been doing things like that. I'm actually in a master course that is all about setting our intentions for the year and doing our whole yearly intention thing. So this is actually real, okay? This is actually manifesting, I think, in my real life. So yeah, self-discovery. I'm just seeing some of the notes I wrote, but some of the things to think about for this moon is self-discovery, our mental well-being, because we're dealing with emotions. And I feel like if we're not careful, our mental well-being could go right out the window because we're dealing with emotions. And we need to make sure that whatever those emotions are not overwhelming and scary to us or others, right? We really need to be careful about that. So, personal growth, balancing spiritual and material aspects, and confidence, actually getting more confidence. If you didn't have confidence, this might be an area where you start to develop confidence. And to give you an idea, I mean, I'm just going back to myself again because I don't know who else to talk about, but I had no relationships whatsoever for a long time. But now I've got a couple of options. I said a couple, I do. A couple of options. And this is what I mean. There is wherever this Cancer 2320 or 20, was it 2359, wherever this is occurring in your horoscope chart, this is where you've got this opportunity for renewed growth, personal growth, self-discovery, building this pack or family or whatever it is. That's there where confidence can come, because suddenly you'll have to be more confident in an area you might not have been very confident in before. I was not very confident in the area of relationships. And so this is interesting. So why is the moon so powerful spiritually? Well, there's transformation and renewal. It phases from the new to the full and then back again. And it makes the moon a powerful symbol of transformation, renewal, and rebirth. And I can tell you that when I think about my 2359 of where that is in my horoscope chart, it is in my seventh house. It is in the house of partnerships or enemies. And I told my daughter, I'm like, this is either the person it's supposed to be, or I'm being catfished. And either way, that would mean it's still about partnerships, right? Or enemies. It's still all is the same thing. So I'm like, okay, this, and also it does give me confidence that they thought I was important enough to catfish, because they would have had to known that I knew this person, that I would believe them, right? Or whatever, or he would believe them, or whatever is going on. So it shows that that area is infused with this rebirth, this renewal, this transformation. The energy is there. So think about where Cancer is in your horoscope. That's where the energy is going to be. That's where the moon is waxing right now. Today is 111. This full moon is 113. So we are waxing toward that. It is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's like, even if that doesn't work out for me, perhaps someone's looking at me now like, that's going to be my woman. I mean, the seventh house, right? That could be whoever my new husband's going to be. I don't know. I'm just imagining all kind of crazy stuff here. It's funny. So anyway, this is what we're talking about here. We're going to have a whole discussion about this moon as I talk to each of your signs, okay? And I want to say for myself, this next moon, the new moon in Aquarius, is going to be exactly on my Saturn in the first house, which just says I'm going to have to deal with the issues of my imperfections. I'm not perfect. And I am really definitely afraid of having to meet this person and them saying, you're not perfect enough. You're good, but you're not perfect enough. You're not enough. I think we all have issues of not enoughness anyway. But when you get to be of a certain age, there is always this fear that you're not enough, because there's a lot of enough out there. Right? So you would wonder why someone would want someone who may not be enough. but perhaps you're enough in their eyes, and that's all that matters. If we can get to that place where we can accept that someone is willing to accept us for us, then I think that's what my next talk is going to be about, um, with the new moon in Aquarius, because the new moon in Aquarius is all about othering as well. It's about other people. It's about our hopes, our dreams, our wishes, what we dream, right? What we wish. And this new moon is going to be there. And I mean, but for me, it's on my Saturn. So it could be painful. And it's also an awakening where you got to face reality. That's a reality wake up. So when I saw that, I thought, oh God, what am I going to have to wake up to? Like, what's this reality that's going to hit me? And it's in my first house. So it's going to be about my physical self. Maybe my age. I'm really worried this person thinks I'm younger than I am. I look really young for my age. I feel like I've been blessed. But reality is I'm not that young. I'm not. I'm, you know, I'm not. My daughter is in her, you know, she's older. So I'm not a young pup. I'm older. But I'm also open to these new ideas. And I'm not afraid to date someone, no matter what age they are. If we're attracted to each other, that's all that matters. And I guess that takes a certain amount of confidence. And let me just say this. After the new moon in Aquarius sitting on my Saturn on February 12th, there's going to be a full moon in Leo. And guess exactly where that's going to be. My full moon in Leo by birth is in my seventh house of partnerships. It's going to be in Leo on my Mars in Leo. So that's either going to be me arguing with someone, or I don't know what this is. This is a very powerful Mars anyway to have, but I'm really concerned about the fact that this full moon in Leo, the next full moon, is going to actually be on my Mars in the house, the seventh house in Leo. So this is going to be very interesting, people. So let's talk about the horoscopes for all the signs. I'm like, so I don't know. I'm like, I'm going to write a book one day. One day I'll get to write a book. One day. Okay. So, because it's interesting. It's interesting. Okay. So I made my little cheat horoscope chart here. Okay. It just darkened myself out. But wait, that's a pretty color. Anyway, I just made this cheat sheet here, and it's so I can look at where most of the emphasis is. Now, when you look at this cheat sheet, excuse me, it's it's what I call a locomotion. Okay, that means it's going from one house to the next house, to the next house, to the next house. It's a locomotive, like a train. Do you see that? They right across the top of the chart. It's all up in the top of the chart. It just tells me everything's exposed. I mean, some people are going to feel like outies. Some people are just, I just feel like everything is exposed. Everything is out there. You know, we've got Jupiter in the 12th house. So I feel like there's a lot going on the DL. There's a lot of sneaky links going on. There's a lot going on in secret because Jupiter is in the 12th. And we're going to see that over the next couple of weeks. So over the next few weeks, we'll feel that. Right now, and I think Jupiter is in Capricorn 6th house, if I'm not mistaken. So a lot of people have been dealing with their health and, you know, just doing all the mundane things and work and stuff like that. But right now and over the next couple of weeks, with the moon being in Cancer, we're going to be dealing with this vibe of Jupiter in the 12th, right? This Jupiter, which is already in its fall. It's not a good Jupiter. I keep telling people this Gemini Jupiter is not a good Jupiter. Jupiter don't belong in Gemini. Jupiter is in the opposite. It's Sagittarius rules. It's through Sagittarius. It's in enemy territory. Okay? So when Jupiter is in enemy territory, all kind of crazy stuff is happening. Things that you would never imagine would happen. I can't say that they're good either. I think some Geminis might like what's going on, but I don't know if everybody else. And even if I was a Gemini, I'd be scared right now because it's too much of a good thing. It's Jupiter is exuberant. Okay, it's pure exuberance. Wherever it goes, wherever it lands, it's over the top wrong usually, but it is exuberant. And it when it's in its opposite sign, it's almost like it has no reign. It's off, it's run amok. That's the way I look at Jupiter right now. The Jupiter has run amok. Okay, that's the way I see it. And I think some Geminis might be affected by that. Um, and so we're going to talk about all the different signs and how you're going to be affected by this locomotion of planets that are going through the top of the sky over the next couple of weeks